Hello, Radioland, and this is another month of the first Saturday family conversation of W.W. Williams Enterprises, LLC. We are happy to be on WJMM one more time. Thank God for the opportunity for us to come and present business consulting in only the way that we can as our family. On this week's show, of course, my name is Arthur Williams Jr. I am the host of Gospel Music Today, Tomorrow Through Eternity, which comes on at 4:30 p.m. on WJMM. And I am in my father's stead today, Reverend Arthur Williams Sr., and I will be conducting the interviews of our guests today. However, we have an exciting show for you today. We have the history of the CME Church. Now, the reason why we're doing the history of the CME Church is because we wanted to get back to the roots of the African American churches in Kentucky. And also, as I'm talking about the roots, this is our Roots and Heritage promo show. And so we wanted to definitely talk about the roots of Kentucky and talk about the Roots and Heritage Festival. So, to go ahead and get started, we're going to give a brief synopsis of the CME Church. The Colored Methodist Episcopal Church, or the CME Church, as it is commonly called, came in existence as a result of the movement from slavery to freedom. During the years following the birth of Methodism, the denomination grew rapidly. The Methodist Episcopal Church South was an outgrowth of the Wesleyan Methodism. Some blacks converted to Christianity by slave masters accepted the Methodist doctrine as it was. However, with the passage of the time of the emancipation of blacks from slavery, it created the desire by blacks to have and control their own church. This desire led formerly enslaved people who had been members of the Methodist Episcopal Church South to start their own independent religious organization. The organizers, 41 men who had exemplified leadership qualities, gathered together in Jackson, Tennessee on December the 16th, 1870. With the advice and assistance of the white brethren of the ME Church South, the black religious leaders organized the colored branch of the Methodism. On Tuesday, December the 20th, they adopted the Methodist South's Book of Discipline, and on Wednesday, December the 21st, they elected two of their own preachers, William H. Miles of Kentucky and Richard H. Vanderhurst of Georgia, as their bishops. Gathering in Jackson with only a dream, the religious leaders departed with their own church, a reality. On this show, we have decided to highlight the CME Church as it stands today. We have invited Bishop Sylvester Williams Sr., the Bishop of the 2nd Episcopal District, to be our guest, as well as Presiding Elder Roy K. Reid of the Louisville, Lexington District to be our guest as well. We are privileged to have both of them with us, and we will hear from them when we come back after these messages. Hello, my name is A. Wizzle, and I am the host of Gospel Music TTTE. For all y'all that don't know, that's Gospel Music Today, Tomorrow Through Eternity. We hope that you'll listen to our show on every Saturday, 4:30 p.m., WJMM 99.1, The Light, Christian Broadcasting Network. We love you all, and we look forward to having you tune in.
This is Evangelist Bree inviting you to join us for Ward 312 on Friday, August 31st through Sunday, September the 2nd at the House of Prayer, Versailles, Kentucky, 860 Kingsway Drive, Versailles, Kentucky. Once again, that's 860 Kingsway Drive, Versailles, Kentucky. For more info, go to www.thewarmovement.com.
And that's where I'll be this Friday night, August the 31st, 7:30 p.m. in Versailles at the War Conference. Worship, anointing, revival. I'm waging war on the enemy, and you should too. Finding myself going to 860 Kingsway Drive in Versailles, Kentucky. And we have Evangelist Bree here right now in the studio to bless us and tell us more about the event. Take it away, Evangelist Bree.
We are so excited to invite everyone to join us at Ward 2012 this Labor Day weekend, beginning Friday, August 31st at the House of Prayer, Versailles, Kentucky.
com, and we look forward to participating with that, and we're just thankful for everything God is doing in our area. Worship, anointing, revival, that's definitely what we need here in Kentucky. And we are back, WJMM listeners. Let us start with our first guest. Our first guest is Bishop Sylvester Williams Sr. Bishop Sylvester Williams Sr. is a true man of God, but let us start with his education. He matriculated and graduated from the Hale County school system in Alabama. He continued his education by attending the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa, where he earned a bachelor's degree in health care management. Then he earned an Associate of Arts degree in mortuary science from the Jefferson State Junior College in Birmingham, Alabama. Later, however, he has accepted his call to the ministry. He furthered his education and went to the Interdenominational Theological Center, which is known as ITC, in Atlanta, Georgia, where he received the Master's of Divinity degree in 1988 and the Doctorate of Ministry degree in May of 2008. After accepting the call to ministry, which was in 1981, he has served in the church very well in several capacities, which include, of course, his pastoral leadership in Alabama, Florida, and most recently, Chicago, Illinois. He has sit on various boards throughout the church, but we want to highlight two, because we were talking about education. Two main sections that of Bishop Sylvester Williams Sr.'s life was when he was on the board of trustees for Miles College and also for the Phillips School of Theology. On June the 30th, 2010, Bishop Sylvester Williams Sr. was elected the 58th Bishop of the CME Church and was assigned to be the presiding prelate of the 2nd Episcopal District. Bishop Williams is married to the former Carmen Elaine Leonard. They have 3 children, Samantha, Sylvia, and Sylvester II. We are privileged at this moment, Radio Land, to have Bishop Sylvester Williams Sr. on the show. Enjoy. You heard of the fact that he is a graduate of the Interdenominational Theological Center in Atlanta, Georgia, as we like to affectionately call the Phillips School of Theology. We are privileged to have him on the show. Bishop, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you.
Yes, sir. We are thankful that you could make it on the show today. We know that we have not just you coming on the show, but we have presiding elder, your presiding elder of the Louisville Lexington district, presiding elder Roy K. Reid, coming as well after our segment with you this morning. But we are happy to have you with us. Now, could you, of course, Radio Land has already heard your bio, but can you just kind of give a brief introduction of yourself to Radio Land?
All right, thank you. Let me begin by thanking you for this opportunity to appear on your broadcast, and of course, just the fact that you are highlighting the Presiding Church. We're grateful, and specifically with regard to the 2nd Episcopal District. Let me quickly share with you what you've asked in terms of my bio. I'm a native of Alabama, very small rural area of Alabama, really Fayetteville, Alabama. I grew up and was educated in the school system there. Matriculated at the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa, then on to seminary, where I, at the Phillips School of Theology in Atlanta, Georgia. I have pastored throughout Alabama and Florida and in Chicago. And after about 28 years in the pastorate, I was elected to the Episcopacy in 2010. So now I've served for 2 years as presiding prelate of the 2nd Episcopal District, and now residing in the Cincinnati area. I am married to Carmen Williams, and we have 3 children, Samantha, Sylvia, and Sylvester. So that's the brief history of who I am.
Yes, sir. Now, we thank you for your bio. One of the things that our bishop he did let you know that he was elected at the General Conference, the 2010 General Conference of the CME Church, as the 58th Bishop of the CME Church. And we are definitely honored to have him because we do have a bishop that is second to none. Now, Bishop, what does the title Presiding Prelate Bishop, the Episcopalcy, what does that entail?
As the presiding prelate of the 2nd Episcopal District, the 2nd Episcopal District that comprises the areas of the state, shall I say, of Kentucky, Ohio, and portions of Indiana, from Indianapolis south. We also have churches in the Pittsburgh area and in West Virginia. So I superintend all of the churches in that region. Those churches in the region are made up of, in this area rather, is made up of 2 regions. Of course, the Kentucky region, and the other region would be the Ohio Central Indiana region. It is my responsibility to superintend the work of both of those regions that we sometimes interchangeably call annual conferences. So as the bishop, it is my responsibility to make sure that the churches in the area are doing well. As bishop, I am to superintend or to preside over the annual conference. The annual conferences, we have 2 annual conferences, namely the Kentucky and the OCIFF stated. As the presider of the annual conference, I am responsible for such things as holding the elections of the delegates when appropriate. I am responsible for electing and making sure that we have various conference personnel to fulfill various responsibilities. I'm responsible for reporting reports to the general church. And out of all of the things that I do, I've been told by previous bishops that the greatest thing that I do is to assign pastors. For it is my responsibility every year at the annual conference either to assign or reassign the pastors to the various charges. So those are some of the responsibilities that I have in a nutshell.
Yes, sir. And for those that are unaware, in the Methodist faith, we have what is known as itineracy, which is the assigning of the pastors by the bishop or the Episcopal see to actually to the local charges in which you see them, which we know as charges, but you know as churches, and that would be kind of that old spiritual as we know it, a charge to keep I have. And so we definitely are excited about the opportunity to have Bishop Sylvester Williams Sr. to not just be on our show, but to be the bishop of our area, Kentucky. And for those of you who do not know him, it would be a distinct privilege of yours as well if you ever get the honor to meet this God-given man. If you truly want to see a disciple of Christ, I can honestly say that I know a man by the name of Bishop Sylvester Williams Sr. who fits that category, and I am privileged to be underneath the tutelage of such the man of our bishop. Now,
Thank you, sir.
Bless you. Now, I want to go ahead and talk about, you brought up the fact that you do go to our general church and talk about reporting reports and things like that. But I know that not only do you sit on the College of Bishops within the CME Church, but you also sit on several boards throughout the world. Could you talk about some of the positions that you hold as bishop and just throughout your ministry?
Yes. Well, let me just say I've had several roles throughout my ministry within the church body that would include things like the chair of the joint board. I've been the treasurer of the annual conferences, but I have also represented the church at several places at several times in terms of having been a delegate to the World Methodist conferences that were held in Oxford, England, in Seoul, Korea, serving as the chair of the Ministry to Men. Our Ministry to Men is an organization that does exactly what it says, ministers to the needs of men and get men involved in the ministry, if you will, of the church, doing things that affect the church and helps the church in terms of its growth. I am most proud as well, ecumenically, to be a part of Pan-Methodism. And Methodism is the Methodist bodies that come together for the express purposes of finding out ways that we can do things together. That includes the United Methodist Church, the African Methodist Episcopal Zion Church, the African Methodist Episcopal Church, and of course the Christian Methodist Episcopal Church. It is our role. We come together to decide on what we as the body of Methodism can do together. We also have other Methodist bodies as well that has most recently become a part of that agency, of that organization. We're also working with the Kentucky and the Ohio Council of Churches. So all of these things keep us pretty busy, and we are involved ecumenically, and I always love the idea, like the idea of being able to work with people of other denominations, the judicatories, as we try to upbuild the kingdom of God.
Yes, sir, Bishop. And now we are enjoying our time with Bishop Sylvester Williams, Sr. of the Christian Methodist Episcopal Church, 2nd Episcopal District. After these messages, we will be right back to continue our conversation with Bishop and to kind of get his insight of what the CME Church means to not only himself, but what he feels of why it is essential to the 21st century way of thinking and life. Make sure you follow us at WWWILLIAMSETC on Twitter, and we'll be right back after these messages.
It's me, Adrienne Williams, letting you know about my new gospel album, Hosanna, Claiming Victory Through Achievement. It's now available, and you can get it on iTunes, Google Music, CD Baby, and Amazon. This MP3 is only $10 online, so log on and get it today.
And we are back, radio listeners, and we are enjoying our time with Bishop Sylvester Williams, Sr. of the 2nd Episcopal District of the CME Church. We are going to just jump right back into the interview because we do have a kind of a lengthy show today. We have the Roots and Heritage Festival, as well as Presiding Elder Reid of the Louisville, Lexington District will also be joining with us. But we want to go ahead and jump right back into the interview with Bishop Sylvester Williams, the Presiding Prelate of the 2nd Episcopal District of the CME Church. Bishop, how does the history of the CME Church affect you?
Well, let me just share, first of all, that our history dates back to 1870 when our church was born. And it was born out of a struggle for freedom and equality at the time when slavery was just being just ended. It was at that time that, of course, the Methodist Church divided into the Methodist Episcopal Church North and the Methodist Episcopal Church South. Most of, the South had quite a few blacks in the area, and their needs were not totally being met, so that they felt that we had a certain set of needs that needed to be addressed. So it is out of that vein that the Methodist Episcopal Church South allowed the colored Methodist Episcopal Church, if you will, to be formed. And the needs of the church at that time was jobs and education and establishing a means whereby our people could become self-sufficient and to take care of themselves. I think all of us have been affected by that. I certainly have, because it is out of that movement that I, like so many others, learned and accepted the value of education and realizing that education is and was and is a great tool to catapult us forward in the future
sir. And now, that segues right directly into where we want to kind of ask you on this next question. Now, we know that the general church's theme is a essential church poised for the 21st century. Why do you feel the CME Church is essential?
Well, I think the CME Church, and allow me to add this addendum, like many other churches, is essential primarily because of our desire to fulfill that which we feel God is calling us to do. That is to promote salvation and everyone's acceptance of Christ. I still believe that the major focus of the church is to go ye therefore and to make disciples. I think that the church is essential because it encourages our spiritual growth, our spiritual development. There are so many things that happen in life that will knock us down or that we just cannot understand. So it encourages us to have a level of spirituality that keeps us rooted and grounded and anticipating, looking forward, having faith to know that there's a brighter day ahead. In other words, it encourages not just our emotional and spiritual well-being, but I think the church also encourages our physical well-being in terms of helping us to understand that our bodies are temples of God, and so we should take care of our physical bodies as well. So I think that the church is very essential in meeting our needs, and
yes, sir.
I think that's the general gist of what the church is doing.
Yes, sir.
And of course, the church helps us to be relevant as we look forward to some of the things that the church do and should be doing. And my vision, if you will, if I could just throw this out as we continue to go forward, my vision for the church is that we would help people to recognize the need for the Lord in their lives, that we would reach and share with particularly our young people who seem to have so many problems, and not just our young people, but all of us. All of us have to deal with so many different things, so we can evangelize and to establish ministries that will be relevant and important as we go forward in today's time.
Yes, sir. And so we thank you so much. I know that our time has ran short on us. We have to go ahead and get to another commercial break. We thank Bishop Sylvester Williams for his senior for his time today. Radio Land, please, if you haven't had a chance to go check out the 2nd Episcopal District website, please do that. You can get to that by checking out the main website for the General Church, which is c-m-e.org. Please go check that out. Find out everything that we have out there, and also go like us on Facebook, the 2nd Episcopal District of the CME Church. Make sure that you go find us and like us on Facebook. Bishop Sylvester Williams, are you still there? Senior, are you still there?
I'm still here, sir. May I thank you for the opportunity of doing it. It's been a joy and a pleasure.
Likewise, and I thank you so much for your time, Bishop. When we return, we will have Presiding Elder Reid from the Louisville Lexington District on the line with us to give more of a perspectives from a Central Kentucky standpoint. And, of course, later on in the show, for all you Lexingtons out there, as well as just Central Kentucky in general, as you know, it is time for the 24th Annual Roots and Heritage Festival, which W.W. Williams Enterprises, LLC, is a proud sponsor of. Please stay tuned, and we will be right back after these messages. W.W. Williams Enterprises is a proud sponsor of the 24th Annual Lexington, Kentucky Roots and Heritage Festival.
Downtown Lexington, September 7th through the 9th for the 24th Annual Roots and Heritage Festival, celebrating over 20 years of diversity. Events include a heritage parade, fine art exhibits, kids fest, and a 3-day street festival. Experience diversity at the African American Marketplace. You can also enjoy live music at the corner of the historic Lyric Theater, the 24th Annual Roots and Heritage Festival. For more information, visit rootsfestky.com or hot102.net.
And we are back, and we have just heard from Bishop Sylvester Williams Sr., the presiding prelate of the Second Episcopal District of the Christian Methodist Episcopal Church. He has had wonderful insight, and to go further into the history of the CME Church and into the great discussions we are having with the CME Church's importance of today, we have brought Presiding Elder Roy K. Reid of the Louisville Lexington District on our show as well. Knowing that our show is representing the Central Kentucky area, we counted it a privilege and an honor to have Presiding Elder Roy K. Reid presenting to us today and representing the CME Church. Now, we're going to go ahead and get some information from Presiding Elder Reid about his biography, as well as his importance to the CME Church. Now, we have Presiding Elder Reid by way of phone today, and we are definitely privileged to have him. Presiding Elder Reid, are you there?
I am here.
It is definitely an honor and a privilege to be interviewing you today. Now, could you let us know your title and what that entails?
Well, to God be the glory for the things that He has done. And it is a tremendous honor to be part of this telecast. And my title is Presiding Elder of the Louisville Lexington District, which is part of the Kentucky region, Second Episcopal District Christian Methodist Episcopal Church, where Bishop Sylvester Sr. is a presiding prelate. As my title implies, I preside over about 23 churches, 19 of them active in the Louisville, Lexington district area. There are 5 active churches in the Louisville community. The furthest east we go is Ashland, Kentucky, where the Johnson Memorial Church is in operation. South and east we go to Johnson Chapel, Glasgow, which is active. And then we have the Phillips Memorial Church in Lexington. We have 3 active churches in Winchester, and then we have 3 churches basically in the Paris, Kentucky area.
Yes, sir. And so being one of the members of the CME Church, I count it an honor and a privilege again to be talking to my personal presiding elder of the Louisville Lexington District. I am attending Phillips Memorial CME Church at the moment, and am pleased to be there under the leadership of Pastor Amariah McIntosh. As he brought up that Phillips Memorial Lexington is one of the churches in the Louisville Lexington District. Now I'm getting the signal that it's commercial time. After these quick messages, we will be right back with the Presiding Elder Roy K. Reid of the Louisville Lexington District of the CME Church, and just come back with us after these messages from our sponsors.
Join us in downtown Lexington September 7th through the 9th for the 24th Annual Roots and Heritage Festival, celebrating over 20 years of diversity. Events include a parade, fine art exhibits, Kids Fest, and our 3-day street festival. Experience diversity at the African American Marketplace, or join hundreds entertained by live music at the corner of the historic Lyric Theater. The 24th Annual Roots and Heritage Festival. For more information, visit rootsfestky.com.
And we are back, and for those just now joining us on the first Saturday Family Conversation, we are here with Presiding Elder Roy K. Reid, and we are having our focus of our show, the first half of our show, to feature the history and importance of the CME Church, the Christian Methodist Episcopal Church. We've heard from Bishop Sylvester Williams Sr., who is the presiding prelate of the Second Episcopal District, and now we have Presiding Elder Roy K. Reid of the Louisville Lexington District on the phone with us. Just to go ahead and just jump right back into the conversation, Presiding Elder Reid, we know that you are very influential in the Louisville-Lexington area, but not just Louisville-Lexington, but also Kentucky and the nation in general, with all of the boards that you sit on and just the importance of how you handle the church. So what boards do you sit on, and what positions do you hold in representation of the church?
In response to your question, I will mention the trustee board for the Kentucky region.
I serve. And I guess consistent with trustees in the local church, the Board of Trustees in the region helps the Kentucky Region Annual Conference maintain church property, especially properties where churches are not active. We make sure that they are maintained, and when it is necessary, we advise the annual conference and the bishop on what needs to happen in terms of whether or not the property needs to be sold, rented, or if repairs, maintenance are necessary. The only other activity I would cite is that I am a member of the Presiding Elders Council, which is comprised of presiding elders all across the connection.
And so we know that you are very influential in the CME Church and have we know that the Louisville Lexington district is represented in high regards. Now, we've also talked about not just the CME Church, but in the earlier part of our conversation, you were bringing up the connection to the other Methodist faiths. I know this wasn't one of the questions I was throwing at you, but could you talk about some of the boards that you may sit on, ecumenical boards that you may sit on?
Well, that's very important to us. We are a connectional church, but ecumenism is very important to us too. And I serve on the Assembly Committee with the Kentucky Council of Churches. And in fact, we are just preparing for our annual General Assembly, which will be held in Moorhead, Kentucky, at First Methodist Church, Moorhead, Kentucky, October the 25th and 26th. And the thrust of the Kentucky Council of Churches is reentry for persons who have been incarcerated and are ready to be released back into society. We help to give them guidance and help to try to advocate for them to regain the franchise, the ability to vote. That is very critical for our citizens. We also are involved with helping to advise in the area of immigration. We have a large community of persons who are not natural citizens of the United States, but who work and study here, and they have special needs. So the Kentucky Council of Churches devotes resources to try to help and assist them in adjusting to our society, especially as it relates to the faith community. So yes, the CME Church is very involved ecumenically with all the other major mainstream, mainline denominations.
And I definitely wanted to piggyback on that. I know that Reverend Marion Taylor and the CME Church have been working hand in hand with that Kentucky Council of Churches, and I know a lot of work will be getting done on the economic development is the word I want to use. So that way, when it comes to the means of our churches that are out there, and the CME Church is one of the main people who will be pushing that effort in the economic development of our people. And so I wanted to leave on this with our conversation, Presiding Elder Reid. I know that you have the CME Church deep inside of your heart. But could you let the listening community out there know why do you feel the CME Church is essential?
Well, I would refer to what Jesus said when he said, "Upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell will not prevail against it." The Christian Methodist Episcopal Church is part of that great body of Christ. And it goes without saying that in order for the body to be reclaimed by Christ when he comes to receive us, we must remain intact. And we do so by his grace and mercy. It is not by anything that we do or I do or any one of us or anybody of us. It is through and by the grace of God.
Yes, sir. And thank you so much, Presiding Elder Reid, for your time. Thank you, Bishop Sylvester Williams Sr., for your time as well. We are going to take a quick commercial, but when we return, we definitely have had a wonderful show thus far with the CME Church and the history of it and the importance of it and why we feel that it is essential. But when we return, we will have Miss Kim Baird on the phone with us, representing the Lexington Roots and Heritage Festival, which W.W. Williams Enterprises is a sponsor of the 24th Annual Lexington, Kentucky Roots and Heritage Festival. Please stay with us so you can get all the updates and information about the Heritage Festival, Roots and Heritage Festival. And once again, thank you, Presiding Elder Reid, for your time and for joining us on the show today.
I am blessed. Thank you, sir.
Join us in downtown Lexington September 7th through the 9th for the 24th Annual Roots and Heritage Festival, celebrating over 20 years of diversity. Events include a parade, fine art exhibits, Kids Fest, and our 3-day street festival. Experience diversity at the African American Marketplace or join hundreds entertained by live music at the corner of the historic Lyric Theater. The 24th Annual Roots and Heritage Festival. For more information, visit rootsfestky.com.
And we are back, Radio Land. You just got done hearing the history of the CME Church with the Bishop Sylvester Williams Sr. And also you've heard some great things of his vision and what he has in store for the Lexington area and also just this area, the 2nd Episcopal District, in which he covers. Now, the second part of our show today will be hosted by yours truly, Arthur Williams Jr., A. Wizzle, host of Gospel Music TTTE. We're going to have the Roots and Heritage Festival, which is an event that happens annually here in Lexington. We're actually celebrating the 24th Annual Roots and Heritage Festival here in Lexington, Kentucky. And we have Miss Kimberly Baird on the phone with us in the studio today to give us more information about this wonderful event. Now, Lexington's Roots and Heritage will be from September the 7th through the 9th of this wonderful year that God has made, 2012, and you should make the effort to go down to the Roots and Heritage Festival and enjoy all the festivities. But with all of that being said, we have Miss Kim on the phone. Are you there, Miss Kim?
I am.
It is such a privilege to have you on the show this day. If you don't mind introducing yourself out there to Radio Land.
I am Kimberly Baird, and I am the chair of the Roots and Heritage Festival. This is my 8th year as chair, and I have been a part of the festival all 24 years.
And so, just like the festival has had its longevity, the chairperson herself has had her longevity as well with this great Roots and Heritage Festival. So we can obviously say that the Roots and Heritage Festival this year is going to be homegrown and better than ever. But can you tell us a little bit about the history of the Roots and Heritage Festival?
We have grown so much in 24 years. It started in 1989. There was a group of wonderful visionaries who wanted to create kind of a neighborhood street festival. And they were trying to decide where to have it. And obviously the Houston area, Breckenridge, Rose Street area, because of its historical significance to African Americans. Louis Street was a thriving African American business community, doctors and lawyers and insurance companies. The Lyric Theater was there, and a fantastic place for musicians to come and the community to come. So that seemed a natural place to have it. So they began that process and had the first one in 1989. I was there. It was sat between 3rd and 4th. We had one stage. It was cold. It was drizzly, and it was fantastic. So we moved to Old Dunbar, and then after that, we have now moved from a 1-day to 3-day street festival and activities throughout the course of the month. So as you can see, in 24 years, starting to head into our silver anniversary next year, how far we've come.
And it definitely sounds like you guys have came a mighty long way. Now I want to point out, she was letting you all know of the fact that they did several moves during the history of the Roots and Heritage Festival. But I got to experience it on the streets of right where it is located now because of Black Achievers. Black Achievers just recently started up again. The orientation, I believe, was August the 25th. Make sure you all find out all your information about that. I believe it's at Lexington's Traditional Magnet School, and I believe you can get in touch with the YMCA Black Achievers to find out more information about that. But we are here with Miss Kimberly Baird from the Lexington Roots and Heritage Festival, and we are definitely happy to have her by phone in our studio today. And if you will stick with us, you'll hear some more about the day-to-day festivities that are going to be happening with the festival this year. And so make sure you stick with us, and we'll be right back after the sponsors.
Join us in downtown Lexington September 7th through the 9th for the 24th Annual Roots and Heritage Festival, celebrating over 20 years of diversity. Events include a parade, fine art exhibits, kids fest, and our 3-day street festival. Experience diversity at the African American Marketplace, or join hundreds entertained by live music at the corner of the historic Lyric Theater. The 24th Annual Roots and Heritage Festival. For more information, visit rootsfestky.com.
And we are back, radio listeners, with the first Saturday Family Conversation, sponsored by W.W. Williams Enterprises, LLC. We have Miss Kim Baird in the studio with us today by phone, and we are privileged to have her representing the Lexington, Kentucky Roots and Heritage Festival that will be going on next week, the 7th through the 9th of September. She's came on here to let us know not just the history, which we just had a wonderful segment on, of the Roots and Heritage Festival, but letting us know why we should come down to the Roots and Heritage Festival and enjoy the wonderful festivities that are going on. So, Miss Kim, are you there?
I'm here.
Awesome. We're going to go ahead and go back into another segment with you. We just came back. I'm glad that we still have you on the phone. We're going to go ahead and go and talk, just find out why should we come down to the Roots and Heritage Festival. I know it's the 24th annual one, but however, some people out in the community may have not have experienced Roots and Heritage. Can you specify for them why they should come out to the Roots and Heritage Festival?
It is a community, family, neighborhood, best friend kind of a feeling when you come down to this festival. I have gotten so many calls and people commenting on just this wonderful atmosphere that's down there when you come, not only because of the entertainment that's down there, the vendors that are down there, people that you may have not seen in years, that you're reconnecting. People will ask me the dates because they're planning their family reunions around the festival. It is truly something to behold, and it is for the whole community. People will ask, well, is it just for African Americans? No, it's about education. It's about experiencing other cultures, and so it is for the community, and it's fantastic. There are thousands of people that come throughout the course of this 3 days. And I would kind of joke all the time about, okay, I've been here 8 years, I've got one more, this is it. And then I'll get on that stage and I will look out at the crowd and the sea of people and the vendors, and I get hooked for one more year.
Now, Miss Kim, if you don't mind, that was a wonderful, touching moment right there where you were just letting us know about how we can just feel the spirit, almost is the word to say, of the environment down there at the Roots and Heritage Festival. You just have to be there to feel it. It's one of those things. And so I would definitely recommend going down to the Heritage Festival, especially if you have never been. This is the year to go. They have some wonderful things planned, wonderful events. Vendors are coming out to support the community, and of course, W.W. Williams will be in the house. So make sure that you make an effort to get down there. But Miss Kim, if you don't mind, could you kind of give us a synopsis of how the festival will be this year?
I can. We start every time. We'll start our kind of a introduction to the Street Festival. On Thursday, we are co-sponsoring with the Lyric Theater. They have an artist named LaShawn Beal who already has his artwork in the Lyric. So we are sponsoring a reception, sort of a meet and greet reception with him on Thursday at 6 o'clock. It's open to the public. Come on out and meet him. And then on Friday is when our True Street Festival starts. The vendors will start about 4 o'clock and go to 11. We have the Stage 1 Jazz and Blues Night, which is wonderful, and it starts at 7. And then we're also partnering with Living Arts and Science Center. They have brought in an artist named Willie Rasco, who's also an African-American artist like LaShawn Beal is, and there's a reception for him at 5 that we will be a part of as well. We don't generally see African-American artists, and now we've got 2. So it'll be down in that weekend.
Yes, ma'am. And so that's the Thursday and the Friday events that will be occurring, and you were talking about those vendors that will be on the marketplace starting on that Friday night. And I know for a fact that Phillips Memorial CME Church will be selling some fish out there. So me being one of the associates there, you all make sure you go out and support Phillips Memorial and get you a piece of fish or something while we're going. But
they are repeat vendors. Yes, they come. Yes.
And so I know that there's other vendors there, but we went Thursday and Friday. We're going to come back to vendors, but if you don't mind, can you talk about what's going to happen on Saturday for us?
Mm-hmm. Saturday morning at 11 o'clock is our parade, and I am really proud of the 2 co-sponsors because this parade has, grown and expanded. We've got bands, we've got floats, we've got everything. The parade is bigger and better and gets bigger and better every year. It will start at 11. It will wind through starting at 4th through MLK, 5th Street race, and then end at the Lyric Theater. And then we will start our Saturday stage at 1 o'clock, and we've added something new this year. We're adding from 1 to 4 a program called Kentucky's Got Talent. And so if anybody's got some talent, whether you're singing, spoken word, dance, musician, anything like that, please jump on our website or give us a call, and we can get you on stage to showcase what talents that you have. Remember, it is a family audience, so please be mindful of that.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, but we will do that on Saturday, and then we've got entertainment all day long on Saturday, ending with our headliners, Sherelle and Howard Hewitt.
Okay.
The vendors are also there from 11 to 11 on Saturday. And then we've got a youth stage, stage 2, that's going to be at Short Street. And so that will start about 4, that will go till about 9, and that will have younger entertainment for the younger crowd, the kind of teenage young adult crowd. And then also one of the things that we're doing, again, going to become bigger and better. We've always had kind of a kids area that's had various things, but we've really kind of bumped that up this year. We've got a woman who's just taken it and run with it. We've got UK physics coming, Newton's Attic, National Society of Black Engineers, the Lexington Fire Department, and we're really going to have a lot of things for the kids this year. And one of the performers on Friday is going to come at 1 on Saturday. He plays the flute. So we're going to have recorders for some of the kids, and he's going to sing some of the songs that he's composed and teach it to the kids and let them play. So bring your kids out at 11. It goes from 11 to 5, and we're really going to kind of boost that up this year and have a wonderful thing for the kids.
Making sure that you so if you got those kids, those grandkids out there, that you know that they're the precious angels, but they have so much talent, you just wish that people could see it. This is that opportunity right here at the Roots and Heritage Festival. Bring them out. There's so much to do for these kids, and we need to support events that care about our kids, as the Roots and Heritage Festival is doing this year, and they do all 24 years that they have been in existence, as they have done. Yes. And so I also wanted to kind of piggyback on something. I had a quick question. You were talking about the parade. Now, I know both my parents are alumnus of Kentucky State University, and I'm one of those students that will be an alumnus as of May. Will the band be joining us this year?
when I last talked to the parade there, I'm not sure that they've heard from Kentucky State, but I don't think that they have, one of the big things they have to work around is whether they have a football schedule conflict. The last I checked, there was not a conflict. It was at night.
Okay.
And so I think they were just waiting on final confirmation. But they've been there, and they have really showed out, I guess I should say.
Well, you can't beat a mighty thoroughbred any time of the day, so I definitely wanted to make sure. I wanted to see if they were going to be there, because that's definitely one of the. I love that highlight of the festivities. Now, we will be back momentarily. The commercial break is coming to us. I'm getting the note that commercial time is here. We will have Miss Kim back with us shortly. And she will be going more in depth about some of the great events that will be happening at this year's Roots and Heritage Festival.
Join us in downtown Lexington September 7th to the 9th for the 24th Annual Roots and Heritage Festival.
And we're going to go ahead and just finish up our show. We're running close to the end of time. But however, we are just so happy that the Roots and Heritage Festival is in our community and going on strong for these 24 years straight. And that's something to applaud out there, Radio Land. It's something to just definitely support and look forward to the 25th, because it's going to get bigger, better, and better than ever. But I know that the 24th, which is September the 7th through the 9th, we got to get through this year first. I know that this year is going to be one hard Roots and Heritage Festival to top. So make sure that you are in attendance for at least 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of the events that are happening. But we still have Miss Kim on the phone. We're going to wrap it on up today. Miss Kim, you still there?
I'm still here.
Awesome. Ms. Kim, talk a little bit more about some of the highlights that you definitely are saying are the no-miss events. Like you should say, if you miss any part of the Roots, you definitely don't want to miss this event.
Well, our Sunday event will be in the Lyric Theater. This is our second year moving into the Lyric. And the headliner, and Nico will talk about that, is Beverly Crawford.
Oh, you're bringing Beverly. I'm excited. I'm so excited. You're bringing Beverly.
Yes, very excited about that. And like I said, not only is she coming, but with us moving the gospel into the Lyric now that it's open, it is absolutely fantastic. And last year we had it in the Lyric. We were kind of giving out tickets, and so we had a lot of empty seats. So we are going to, from people coming in and out, so we're going to kind of have ushers. If anybody wants to volunteer to be an usher, we need you. And then another event that we're having on Thursday, September the 20th, is our Health and Wellness Fair that the Lexington Health Department puts on at William Wells Brown Community Center. And I hate to say I'm one of those that never always made it to that health fair, and I made it a point to go last year and was overwhelmed. It is fantastic. They had booths there. They had a hospital, I think Central Baptist, that was there taking blood pressure, doing a weight loss challenge, and that's what it is, the weight loss kickoff challenge. And it was absolutely wonderful. So, that's the time to get in so that you can be prepared for the softball tournament next year.
you just gonna keep making sure that I'm ready for that softball tournament. I'm gonna see if my mama can still play catcher now.
Bring the whole family.
I'm down with it. I'm gonna see y'all want to have a team. I think we might be able to work that out. But it has been a pleasure to have you, Miss Kim. And make sure that you all go support the Lexington, Kentucky's 24th Annual Roots and Heritage Festival. So can you go ahead and let us know of some of the people who have made this possible, some of those sponsors out there?
Absolutely. First and foremost, the volunteers. This is not a paid job. Any of it is not paid. These people give their time, their talent to put this on, and I can't thank them enough. And we also get fantastic support from Lexington and Urban County government. When we're talking about budget cuts and trimming dollars and those kinds of things, Urban County government has done a fantastic job of helping us. And we've also got Toyota, McDonald's, Fifth Third, Central Bank, Columbia Gas, Smuckers, the Lyric Theater, Underground Printing, Hot 102, and of course, you have been a fantastic support to us as well, and we can't thank you enough for that.
Thank you also. Thank you so much. And so she was bringing up all of these wonderful sponsors out here in the community. As you all know, W.W. Williams Enterprises is making its way down to Lexington, and we couldn't think of nothing better to do than to come and support the Lexington Roots and Heritage Festival. It was the best decision that we've made thus far. The best decision that we've made thus far. And that's supporting this endeavor. And we definitely count it an honor and a privilege to have even been given and afforded this opportunity to be able to participate with this great event. And so it is a great event, and I definitely expect all of the great things that God has in store for this great event. So make sure that you're in attendance at this event. To all of our sponsors, W.W. Williams Enterprises, we love you. Thank you all, Radio Land, for listening. And it has been another First Saturday Family Conversation.